Welcome back to another episode of the Quack Shack podcast. We're kicking off our summer podcast. Going to do a lot of videos during the summer too. But we're here in our hometown of Tyler, Texas, with a couple guys, Sam and what was your name again?
Blake,
the Treaty Oak Revival guys here. We're sitting here in the parking lot of Red Dirt Music Festival here in Tyler. And listen, I promise you, we've done a lot. We told y'all, we did one at 5 o'clock in the morning at a boat ramp. So we get
y'all
it done.
Y'all are versatile.
We've done it in the nicest places, and then we've done them in
we've done it in like the Taj Mahal. Been like, oh, this is real nice.
Hey man, this ain't the worst place to do a podcast.
No,
right?
dude.
It's pretty.
It's nice out. You got the fucking pine trees in the background. We're definitely in East Texas.
Yeah, you don't get to see them too often.
No, I don't.
From where you are, or where he's from, at least.
Where he's from, the biggest tree's about the size of this twig here.
Yeah. Well, and where I'm originally from, we ain't got no fucking trees.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I played
cuss on here.
Yeah. I played golf in Monahans one time. They had some planted trees out there.
Yeah.
But,
well, you get into town out there in Odessa and Midland. There's some trees on the golf courses. You can definitely always tell
when you go to the park. There's some trees.
They
only where they plant them.
Yeah, wherever
there's
they
no
plant
naturally growing trees.
Where they
besides mesquite bushes.
Mesquite bushes,
trees.
If you call that a tree. And then he's from the opposite. There's no trees there where he's at either, but it's just
there used to be.
It's concrete.
It's just fucking
great
chaos all the time, man.
Well, we appreciate y'all doing this and waking you up from your nap.
Sorry we couldn't get y'all in, man.
Oh, you're good, brother. We
really
just wanted to do the podcast.
I thought it would be a little bit more lax than that. You know,
they've been on us.
Hey, listen,
they sold out the place, so
you're
I guess
getting
they're
big
being
time.
strict.
You know what I mean? That's
Right.
part of it.
You just said y'all broke the record at Cook's like a couple weeks ago. You said
Last weekend.
12,000 people.
12,000 people, man. It's pretty crazy. We were there, and I was talking to this one kid, and I guess he went to Lubbock High School or whatever, but he said that I think 20 kids were going to prom that night because it was prom night the night we played. 20 kids were going to prom because the rest were all going to fucking
hell
see
yeah,
it.
dude.
What's so funny about that is this is my little brother's prom, and he was like, hey, dude, I'm not going to prom. I'm going to see Treaty Oak tonight. And I was like, hey, dude, we're about to go do a podcast.
Yeah.
You want to just come with us? He was like,
screw prom.
Yeah, dude, screw prom.
man.
So we're going to dive into your hunting background and then dive into all the cool shit,
Personal
too.
shit. And
So you're from West Texas.
Yeah. So I was born in South Texas. I was born in Harlingen.
Okay,
which is
yeah.
down
So you
on the
don't
border.
RGV.
Yeah.
You really don't know what trees are.
Yeah. Well, palm trees.
Yeah, palm trees,
That's
yeah.
about it. But yeah, I was born in Harlingen, and then me and my family moved to California Northern California for 2 years, and
beautiful
Southern
out
California for 3 years. Yeah, well, I spent a lot of time in like Yosemite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude,
stuff
it's
like that.
so sick.
There's a place called Balch Park, kind of near we lived, and it was like you could go there, and they had like stocked it with rainbows.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
brown
So you
trout
can
and
fly
stuff.
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I was a little kid fishing there, I just had my little
Rod.
Zebco
Heck
reel,
yeah,
but I was
dude. Catching trout.
browns and rainbows, man. Yeah, it was cool. And then we moved to Odessa.
Complete opposite.
Yeah, my dad's in the newspaper, so we moved around a lot.
Yeah.
But he finally got a job back in Texas. Unfortunately, it was Odessa, but
Dude, Odessa's great, man.
yeah.
It
was great when we moved there.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen,
it was a really nice place to live.
Odessa has provided for a lot of families all over the world.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not the best to look at.
Well,
And-
especially when you're coming from Northern California.
Well, and I'll get into it. Like, so when I grew up in Odessa, being out in the oil field and stuff like that, all that land is privately owned.
Oh, hell yeah.
All that land is privately. What is that?
A titty?
Oh shit!
He just brought us a titty.
Hell yeah!
You want the titty?
Welcome to Tyler. No, dude, I don't know where that thing's been, dude. But
Okay, yeah, all the land's private land out there.
yeah, well, in West Texas, it's all mostly private land,
Yeah.
and then you can get leases and stuff. But the real way you hunt out there is if you know people,
Yeah,
Right.
for the most part.
Right.
So, there really ain't no water out there besides the Pecos River.
Yeah.
So I never really did
Hell
much
of a
duck
river.
hunting. I went on a couple of duck hunts. It was like my assistant high school principal.
Oh, hell yeah.
He
Yeah.
was a huge hunter, but crazy as shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
going on hunts with him. I remember he died, but recently, which
In a hunting
R.I.P.
accident?
R.I.P..
But, yeah, no, he just had cancer,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Oh,
It's
shit.
shitty, kind of shitty. Like that disease picks the best people
Yeah.
in life,
It's
you know.
pretty,
But
pretty
he was a
shitty,
really
yeah.
cool guy, man. But the hunts we would go on, like I remember one time, I was we were in a field dove hunting, and I was sitting putting like 250 dove decoys in the trees while fucking
250
millions of them were
decoys.
flying over me. Yeah, 250 were flying over me.
Yeah.
And I was like, why the fuck are we putting up all these decoys? There's dove flying over our damn heads.
Yeah.
Dude, well, so we get done putting the decoys up, and I limit out in 15 minutes. And he's like, see? Decoys work. So I was like, there's been
We could have put no decoys
I
out.
could have gotten a limit 2 hours ago, like in 15
And now I got
minutes.
to pick all this up.
Yeah, now I got to tear all this shit down. But
Yeah.
we went on a duck hunt one time, and we were just jumping ducks with kayaks. So,
So
like,
just on the river?
yeah, so two of us would, like, descend down into the Pecos with these kayaks, and then two more of us went all the way down to the end. We walked these kayaks filled with fucking guns and bags and shit. And we were like 15 years old, just walking through the like midsummer like heat. I don't even. It wasn't summertime, obviously,
Yeah.
but it was hot as shit.
Well, it's always hot as shit out there.
Dragging like these things for miles to the other end of this river, and I think I shot one duck the
Well,
entire
hey,
hunt.
That was the first hunt you ever went
But
on?
it was a great story.
That was your
Like,
first duck hunt?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. I think a lot of people's first duck
It's
hunt
always
was
awful.
terrible.
It's
like
either
that.
the best ever or the worst ever.
Well,
Yeah. What's up, guys? Turtle box speakers. If you don't know about them, you must have been living under a rock. These things are the most durable, waterproof, loudest outdoor speaker that you can have. We take these things on the boat in the summertime, in the wintertime. We take them to the holes with us. Like I said, they're durable. You don't even, like if you have two, you can just throw that one out to the side right there and grab your other one. They're super durable. If you've seen their marketing on Turtle Box's Instagram, they run them over with monster trucks, they freeze them, they toss them as high as they can. Super durable, waterproof, and they've got a port in the back where you can charge your phone. Definitely by far the best speaker on the market. Check them out at turtleboxaudio.com. Check them out on Instagram at turtleboxaudio.
So yeah, when I was in West Texas, we mainly did dove hunting.
Yeah.
And,
It's great.
It's good out there.
Yeah, I shot my first deer in I think like near Ozona.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Down south.
And we hunted blue quail too for a time. There
Yeah.
used to
South
be
There used to
Texas
be a
deer
bunch of
hunts
quail
are
down
there
there,
used to
too.
be a bunch of blue quail. And then when I went to college, I went to college at Texas A&M Kingsville.
What'd
Oh,
you go
yeah.
to school for?
Down by well, I originally went down there for range and wildlife management.
Oh, nice.
And then I switched to construction because
That's what I did,
they
yeah.
started making me do agricultural business classes and shit.
It's hard.
And it turns out I wasn't that good at that shit.
Yeah, it turns out I wasn't very good at math.
And when I got into school, I had a bunch of buddies who went to that school for range and wildlife management
Right.
because I was pretty active in like Texas Parks and Wildlife. Like I went and did those brigades camps, and I'd go be a counselor and everything
Yeah.
like that. And those camps are super cool.
Yeah.
But a lot of those friends that I made at that camp, they're all in Texas, and Kingsville has one of the best wildlife programs in the country. I think it's the only program in the state that offers a master's in wildlife
Oh, wow.
management because you get to do the master's program at the King Ranch.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're over there
Oh,
looking
that-
at the
that
Laguna
makes
Madre.
Clayburgh Wildlife
It's-
Institute.
That's pretty neat, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
awesome.
cool. So, but while I lived in South Texas, a bunch of my buddies were range and wildlife, and
Yeah.
a lot of them owned ranches and farms all around the area. So, man, we go dove hunting, pig hunting, duck hunting. You know, we go
Nice.
fish it. When in Kingsville, you're right by Baffin Bay, which is like some of the best fishing in South
Yeah.
Texas. So
Yeah.
we're out there catching redfish, trout.
It's
you
not
know.
a bad place to be.
It's really
it
not.
was great, man.
Like, dude, there's nothing. If you're not into the outdoors, Kingsville is a terrible place to live.
Right.
But it's probably worse than Odessa and Midland if you're not in
Well,
the
it's
outdoors.
it's not too far from Corpus, and it's not too far from the Rio Grande Valley. And
No.
No.
And but yeah, we did I did a lot of cool hunting down
No,
there. man.
yeah.
I shot
Dude.
my first turkey down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's a cool place.
Well, where you're at now, there's a lot of wildlife. There's
Oh, yeah.
deer,
Yeah,
turkey,
you went to a
now I
great
live in
spot.
Oklahoma, so now I'm like shooting pigs every weekend when I'm off.
there's
Yeah.
deer, there's
Going
ducks.
bass fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Dude, when I was out west, I spent a whole year out there pipelining, and then I spent most of my time in South Texas. But while I was out there, literally every day, dude, we had our campers in Cayenosa outside of Pecos.
Yep, I did a bunch of work in Cayenosa.
Dude, we ran those back roads shooting them big jackrabbits. I mean, some monsters.
Yeah.
So, like,
The jackalopes.
to be honest, the whole year I was out there, that was the best part. getting off
Shooting
work,
rabbits.
drinking beer, hitting the back roads and shooting. Dude, we'd shoot like 40 every day.
Yeah.
20 to 40
There's no
every
more
day.
jackrabbits left.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
not
there are
kidding.
none left.
Yeah, they're in
He
danger.
shot
You're
'em
not
all.
I
supposed to
got
talk about
pictures
that.
of them. Hey, it is what, come get me. It's
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, dude, when I got back from college, I moved back home and I started working. I spent 3 years in Pecos. I spent like maybe half a year in Cayenosa. I spent a lot of time.
You pipeline, didn't you?
I didn't pipeline, man. We built what the pipelines connect to, which is those cryogenic gas processing plants. So the pipelines would come feed in. We were we dealt with midstream shit.
I worked with a couple guys that knew you back in the day.
Yeah, I worked for a couple.
And they would talk about how you would play a couple songs and like you were working on some music back when you were doing that. Is that true?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
I lived in a trailer, in the trailer parks and shit, and a lot.
One of them is my best friend. One of my best friends, Trent, and he knew of you.
Yeah.
And told me these stories, so I'm glad to know he's not fucking bullshitting.
Yeah. I had a bunch of buddies that were all like East Texas pipeliners and pipeline welders out there, and I'd mainly hang out with them because a lot of those guys know how to pick guitar.
Yeah,
and so I did too. So we'd sit out there and get drunk and pick guitar, and I'd write songs, or I'd play them songs that I'd write while I was out there working and stuff.
That's awesome.
So I got like Boomtown I wrote while I was out there, and I remember playing it for a bunch of people. We'd have like little parties out there in the trailer, and all the people would show up and shit. But I got some friends here from Tyler who are here.
That's badass.
They were out there with me during that time.
Yeah.
You and Dylan Wheeler are boys, aren't y'all?
Yeah.
He's
I
here.
love Dylan,
Colby
man.
Cooper.
He's cool.
He's
I love
here.
Colby.
Yeah.
I love all them guys.
Yeah, they're good dudes.
I can't wait to.
I went to I used to work for another company, and I went and met up with him, and we went out to eat, and he was talking about some old stories of his, him back in the day and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I mentioned you, and I mentioned a couple other people that we know. But yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
very cool dude.
Well, yeah, we built those big old gas processing plants. So like those things take like a year. I remember one time we had a project out in Balmorhea, and we stayed in Alpine, so we'd have to drive like an hour and a half to work every day, there and back.
Yeah.
And we were in Balmorhea for like a year and a half, and we built like this massive. We built like 3 cryos, and it turned into 5.
Oh, shit.
So,
So at least with that, you're in one place for a long time.
Yeah, I wound up.
That's the thing,
but you're in the middle of fucking.
you're
There ain't shit in Balmorhea. There's barely
dude.
shit in Alpine. But we did see some crazy wildlife in
I must say, at least you're
Alpine,
kind of in the mountains. You can see the elk every now and then.
Yeah, well, we had like these QC guys out there, and one of them was from Louisiana. And when he got assigned to that project that we were on, he went around to all the farmers in the area and was like, "Hey, you got ducks on your land?" And a couple of them were like, "Yeah,
come on.
y'all want to come out and shoot them? Y'all go ahead."
That's badass.
We used to go jump ducks in the Pecos out there for after work sometimes.
That's
we got
awesome.
off early.
That's badass.
I didn't do no duck hunting when I was out west. I thought about it, but
Man, there was one time that me and one of the QC dudes, we went to New Mexico because they got BLM land out there. So it was like our closest thing to having public land. I remember we drove like 5 in the morning out there past the New Mexico line, and we went out there, and it was split season, so we were shooting quail and dove. So we were out there shooting quail and dove, and man, we saw some big ass mule deer out there. It's cool.
That is badass.
Yeah.
to kind of transition, we talked earlier. You just left Cadillac a couple months ago. Y'all went and hunted out there.
Yeah, we went and hunted some cranes, man. Toby,
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
You known him for a while?
Toby, I've only known him for like a year or so.
He's a cool dude,
But
ain't he?
he's the coolest, man.
Yeah.
And he's
Such a good dude.
I was
Yeah.
fucking pissed I missed that.
Yeah, what
I was just
happened,
about to
bro?
say.
Where were you?
We
Where were you at
we
on
were
that
on the
deal?
road for forever, and then I needed to be home for a little bit, hang out with my girlfriend and some family. I wanted to go out there.
Dude,
but
nah,
I
but
You should have told her, hey, meet me in Amarillo, baby.
Yeah, act like they don't have room. Dude, they have plenty of room in that lodge, dude.
Yeah.
You could have took your own lady, dude.
She wasn't interested.
Nah.
She wanted
Dude,
me home.
did you show her pictures of it?
Oh yeah,
It's so nice. She would have loved. I took my wife out there.
I mean, she might have, but she didn't want any part of it. Whenever
Yeah.
I was trying, she's like,
No,
"You better-
she's like, you
better
know
get
what?
home."
She's like, come home now. So what's your story? How did you grew up in Grapevine?
What's your role with the band first?
He's our tour.
So I'm the tour manager, and I've been with them going on 2 years now.
Yeah.
And,
So how much babysitting is involved with that? Because we're friends with Dre, And we've heard those stories, you know, like, where the fuck is Co at? It's time to play.
Surprisingly, they're not too bad. They tend to listen to me a little bit better than I thought. But there still is that babysitting and like that herding cats feeling that you got.
He said, "I'm just tired, dude."
Yeah.
And then it's just like him walking out by himself, just walking through the crowd.
He said, "Hold on, I'm gonna put a shirt on. I'm gonna walk out there and find you." And he was like,
I
"That's probably
just
not a
don't
good
think
idea."
that's a good idea.
Yeah, but I don't give a fuck about that type of shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
if he done it, I'm just gonna go do it by myself anyways. So.
Well, he was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna come down there." I was like, "Man, I just don't think that's a good idea." I said, "You probably ought to come back."
Well, it's early in the day. I didn't figure there'd be that many people
It
out
wasn't
here.
too
They're
bad.
showing up.
Well, surprisingly, you only had 2 people ask for
They
pictures.
know what's so funny.
Well,
There's been a
that's why
bunch
we walk
since,
this way.
since we started the podcast. All these people been walking by. They're like pointing over there, they're looking. They're like, and then they're trying to come over, but they're like, "Oh no, I'm not coming." But if we'd have gone that way,
That's the funniest part, dude. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna come over and get a picture while he's doing a podcast.
100%.
I
Some
had to
people
think
will.
about that.
Some people will.
I know.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
no, if we were sitting closer to the road and we weren't sitting over here in the woods,
That's
then
why I was
all
like,
these people would have stopped.
That's why when you
Alright.
mentioned the road, I was like, yeah, that's probably not a good idea.
Well, I was trying to hook up to that. We got what we have going right now is we got the truck set up. We
Yeah.
got the truck running. It's already cut off twice, so hopefully the audio is good. Comes out of this deal.
Yeah,
pretty
I think we're rolling pretty good.
good. Oh hell yeah!
So let's dive into when you started. You talked about your background. You worked out west, and then when did you realize, like, hey, I kind of want to try this music thing? What's up, guys? VPC lanyards, best lanyards in the industry. We've been with them since. I've been with them since 2017. We've been partnered with them since day one of the podcast. We've always used their products. They make a very good, one of the best, if not the best, lanyards. They also make duck totes, gun straps, you name it. Anything that can be made with a paracord, he makes it. He made me a kill switch for my boat, and that we use it all the time. This is the AA Game Changer. This has removable drop loops. So if you don't want to bring a call that day, you don't necessarily have to. If you want to add another call, you just add it. Super easy. By far, my favorite lanyard right here is this AA Game Changer. The one I had before was just as good, if you know, but this one is definitely, like they says, a game changer. So check them out at VPC Lanyards on Instagram or Facebook. Tell them Quack Shack sent you. Get you a new lanyard.
Well, I mean, in college, I played. That's where I learned to play guitar. It's where I started songwriting and stuff like that. So, in college is kind of when it just became a hobby. And then when I met my band is when I kind of thought, hey, we can do something with this. So I met them when I moved back to Odessa and kind of married into those guys. They were a band, and then their lead singer left, so I swooped in.
Kind of swooped in, like, hey, these guys are good.
Yeah.
And then how'd y'all get linked up?
Man, I was in another band with Cody, our drummer.
Okay.
And he took a step away and joined this band after trying out. And one day they were playing probably like 30 minutes from my house, and Cody called me and was like, we need a tour manager for the night. Do you want to come? I left my job like 3-4 hours early, and I went to fucking load-in, and from then on, we did the show, and they were like, "Do you want to keep coming back?"
You want to go to the next one?
Yeah. So 2 weeks on, and then after that, I quit my fucking job, and I said, "I'm gonna see what
this is about.
What were you doing in the other band?
So the other band, I was also a tour manager.
Okay.
It was just for a smaller band, and then on top of that, I was a project manager for a construction company. For
Okay.
about 5 years.
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Which company?
So it's
Mario
small-
Sinicola?
small construction company called Saramont Construction. But it was mainly like
That's what he does. That's why
sheetrock framing
I
and
gotcha.
shit like that. But yeah, I just kind of took a leap and was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna
Worked
see what
out.
happens. And that was just before they all had just finished this Have a Nice Day album, so I didn't know
Great
didn't know
album.
what was gonna happen. And then I guess it was a good leap of faith.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
the first time that I saw them, I was like one of my buddies was like, hey, do you want to go see Treaty Oak? I was like, man, I just don't know if I know who that is. It was a while ago. You know, it was probably 3-4 years ago when y'all played at Hank's.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, dude. He showed me their songs. Like, that sounds pretty
Need another
good.
beer?
And then we got
sure.
y'all.
You need water or something?
I'm good,
Y'all
bro.
continue.
Funny
I'm gonna
is,
get us
I
a
didn't
drink.
even know who they were.
Well, no,
I didn't know
100%.
shit.
Dude, I had no idea. My buddy was like, hey, these guys are pretty freaking good, dude. And I was like, well, yeah, let me hear them. Like, we were literally watching, I think, like, Texas was playing Alabama that day, or, like, there was something weird that, had nothing to do with anything. I was like, yeah, well, so we did that. And they're like, you want to go to this concert? We went, and I was like, dude, these dudes are freaking good. They rock out, dude. And there wasn't that many people there, but everybody was so into the music. And I was like, dude, this is freaking good. And then from then on out, just been banger after banger after banger after banger. So one thing I have about that is, do you write all of your own music, or does the band, it's like co-write deal? Like,
well, I write the lyrics for the most part. I mean, but sometimes the guys help me out, or we'll write together. Like me and him have a couple songs. He's helped out. Yeah. He's helped out with some as well.
Over here, tour manager / artist, writer.
Well, he sings and writes music stuff.
Oh hell yeah! I try to help him out as much as I could.
Yeah, he comes out on stage and sings one with us every night.
Oh no shit!
Yeah. We're trying to get him to learn how to play keyboard or fucking fiddle.
I've been training myself on the keyboard. I know all the guitar stuff, so we're just
awesome.
trying to see what happens after that.
Yeah,
maybe electric guitar, or like
all of it.
What's the slide?
Slide guitar?
Yeah, dude.
Slide guitar.
Dude, those sound so good.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Maybe bring out the keytar.
The electric.
Yeah, the keytar.
The keytar is
old
fucking
keytar.
sick, dude. Hey, you just gotta get up there with the old triangles. Ding.
I ain't scared.
Cowbell, more cowbell.
Scared.
Right. But yeah, I mainly do most of the writing is just me, and that's always just been my thing, or the thing that I try to
enjoy that process.
Yeah, the thing that I try to be good at, and I never thought my voice was good, and I've never claimed to be a really good guitar player either.
Yeah.
But I feel like by now it's safe to say I'm a pretty okay songwriter.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
That's how you.
Well, it took me a long
well
time
above
to
average.
accept that, and
Yeah.
admit that to myself, because I don't really like, taking all the credit for any of that shit, really. But I don't go around thinking I'm the best, I'm the shit,
Yeah. Well, that's good, dude. It's good to be humble, but it's also good to know, like.
Yeah. I've had to
a lot
tell
of these people
myself,
are here to
hey,
see
man,
y'all.
you're probably all right at what you're doing.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of the people are here to see y'all.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
I think there's like 15.
It's good to acknowledge
great,
that
man.
too. You know what I mean?
But yeah,
like 12,000 people at Cook's, bro.
I'd
and
say
people
you're
skipping prom.
above average on songwriting.
Yeah, you probably good at writing songs.
Yeah. so that's pretty much what I do, man.
Yeah.
And,
Did you think Boomtown was going to be as big as it is? Because I watched a clip on Instagram maybe a month ago about you talking about it. Or maybe it was right before you went on was it Kimmel? About how Boomtown, like when y'all play Boomtown, y'all could play Boomtown last, and then everybody goes fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Did you think it was ever going to be that big?
No, anything from the first record that we did, I never thought was going to be a big hit.
Yeah.
We just put that first record out because we had a bunch of friends like my East Texas Pipeliner buddies, or friends. I got friends in Texas, friends in California, South Texas, North Texas, East Texas. Like everybody has heard me play guitar before, because usually everywhere I lived, I've played around them, and I played them songs. So I really we made this record for our friends, so they could, because we would always send people recordings and stuff like that from our phone. And now we were like, all right, well, now you got a fucking album, so quit asking me for shit.
It's awesome.
So no, like everything from the first album, we never thought anything was going to happen. We never thought we were going to be here doing this shit that we are now. So,
I know a lot of artists don't really necessarily have a favorite song, but what's y'all's favorite song that y'all put out?
Even if it's not the biggest.
Yeah. And then that's the case most of the time, right? Like it might not be the biggest song, and it's like, dude, this is my favorite song. Or a lot of times you hear like, we put out this song, we didn't think it was going to be what it is, we didn't even think it was that good, and now here it is. It's like one of our biggest songs. What's y'all's favorite song y'all put out?
Yeah, it's hard to say, man. But one of my favorites was "See You in Court."
Oh yeah, it's a great song.
It's one of my favorites. Well, it's just one that like it really just kind of clicked one day for me, and it had been a song I'd been writing long before that. But I remember we were in there trying to cut demos. And they were like, man, do you have anything else? And I was like, well, I got this song about like my buddy getting divorced and child custody battle and
you
like
that was
and he was
true?
Like
you actually wrote it about that?
Well, it was about several people.
I was one
A bunch of my friends at the time were going through divorce and had kids with women that were trying to just
rip them out.
Yeah, just say like, hey, you ain't gonna see your kid again. And, and I was like, man, I feel bad for them guys, and I feel like there ain't a song really that talks about
exemplifies their
shit.
feelings.
Yeah. So I just kind of wrote it for them and anybody else who may be going through that stuff, and I tried to keep it. Like, I mean, you can call a guy a bitch too, you know, if you want to. So I tried to keep it gender neutral as much as I could.
Oh, you'll see some girls just out there getting after it.
Yeah, I get girls all the time. They're like, man, I'm divorcing my husband right now. He's trying to fucking make sure I don't see the kid and shit. Fuck that motherfucker. And so it's cool, but it was just like one of those things where they were like, well, can you finish it? And I immediately came up with that first line, like, boy, you done fucked up now. And the rest just kind of rolled up. And I told my bass player, we were recording at his house, I was like, hey, man, you got a bathroom I can go into real quick? And I went in there and I recorded
something on
the phone for the whole thing, and then the rest was history. But that one, Close Encounters, Fishnets.
Yeah.
Tattooed Roses is one of my favorite ones that we've ever done, just because I like the writing on it. And
it's a little bit of a slower song, I think, for y'all, because a lot of y'all songs are, I mean, probably 50-50 if you really think about it. Like half of them are like hardcore, getting after it, and then like you don't really have a whole lot of necessarily slow songs. I know in your bio it said you sing sad songs, and a lot of them are kind of that way. A lot of them
sad
are,
pump-up songs.
But they're like fucking let's party, I'm sad songs. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite one?
Yeah.
I'd say Close Encounters probably is my favorite one so far, and then my next one is one that hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
But Close Encounters.
Yeah, we have a lot that are not released.
They're pending.
But the newest ones are always your favorite, you know,
right?
Because they're the most fresh.
Have y'all ever had a song you thought would pop off and it didn't? Or the opposite, I guess. I know you said the other one.
Boomtown.
Yeah, Boomtown. You didn't think it'd pop off, but like, have you ever had one you're like, this is going to be the best song?
Well, I thought that Missed Call was going to be a huge one. And it turned out but it was like a slow burn, man. Like when it first came out, No Vacancy and Ode to Bourbon were the ones,
but then I feel like Missed Call
kind of fell off to the wayside, and I was like, man, I really thought that one was going to be badass.
Yeah,
dude, that's one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorite calls.
Then TikTok got a hold of it eventually.
Dude, TikTok did a lot of shit.
A year and a half later, the TikTok got a hold of the sound, and that started popping off, and I was like, holy shit. And then it shot up, man. But yeah, that was one that a lot of the band was like, it's good, but it isn't like that great. And I was like, nah, man, it's
like, this is one's the shit, dude.
It's a catchy, it's a radio hit. If
I don't know anybody that doesn't like that song. Yeah, no, that's.
What's up, guys? We partnered up with Migra this year, shooting a 2-4 stack steel shot. You know, I use a 20 gauge quite a bit, so I'll be shooting this 20 gauge 2-4 stack, 1350 feet per second. If I miss, it's because of me, not the shell. This stuff is incredible. Jackson shoots his 12 a lot, so I'll throw a 12 in there every once in a while, especially on some big geese or whatnot. But stuff was definitely a go-to this year. Kind of made sense for us. We've been friends with these guys for quite some time now, and so we just made it happen. Highly suggest shooting this Migra. Definitely some great stuff. Can't wait to get in the field and use it again. It's been a couple years since we've gotten to use it, but we're here to stay. Check out Migra Ammunitions on Instagram, and check out their website.
But I would say, I mean, I think that a lot of people have those problems or have those songs where like, man, I really thought this one was gonna be the one that popped off, and it's this other one that I didn't even think about.
It's always the one that you don't think of, like for example, I thought Missed Call was going to be the song of that record. I thought that was going to be the one that blew up, but No Vacancy was just a filler song, like a last minute one that we threw in there right at the end, and that was the one that.
The thing you said about TikTok is like all it takes these days is if a TikTok sound starts. It's popping off.
See, and that's
TikTok,
the thing. Like
TikTok did some wonders, man.
Yeah, but we were never really involved. We're still to this day not very involved in TikTok.
But people are using y'all songs on TikTok.
Exactly.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
and there's like three different girls that do like lip singing, and if they do it, it just starts all the little boys do it, like all the high school boys.
That Key Notes girl did one of y'all songs.
I met her at the ACM.
She was there,
yeah. For the first time, she was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy."
You're like, you're famous. All you do is lip sing songs, but they get everybody famous. So it's great.
I saw a video of her and Zach Topp's interaction, and he was like, "Dude, you're like famous on TikTok," and she was like, "Dude, you're like famous." It's funny, dude. TikTok, and the crazy thing about it is like we haven't really pushed a lot on TikTok, but like when they were talking about
banned.
our shit get taken down all the time, but when they were talking about banning TikTok, I felt bad for all these musicians, like people that were coming up and people that had made it already. Like a lot of guys made it and girls made it just solely off of TikTok.
Well,
and
a lot of those guys make their living off that kind of thing.
Dude, yeah, you get those because like what is it called, the creator thing,
the creator pay,
like every
or
time
whatever,
your songs use, like you can look up one of y'all songs, it's got like a ton of uses over all the videos. I'm like,
well,
dude, and they didn't even post it. It's just like somebody else did it. Like that's freaking awesome, dude.
That's the thing. Like most of our music has just been spread by advertisement, by word of mouth, and people just going out there and showing their buddies and stuff like that. And that's been the coolest part, man. Is like the fans have been like our own marketing team. They're free, you know. Like
right.
Free
and
marketing.
That's what happens when you do cool shit that
and
people
you make
like.
Quality shit.
They like
that's why
it
we
so
love
much.
the fans so much, man. Is because none of these artists would be where they're at without the fans.
Right.
And at the end of the day, but we really, truly would not be where we are if it was not for these people going out and making TikToks using our songs, or fucking sharing it with their friends, or coming out to shows, man. So,
well, in my opinion, and I feel like I can speak for a lot of your fans too. We know several people in the industry that are trying to make it, and some that have. I mean, Josh Phillips, he just accepted an award for Best Song of the Year, Songwriter of the Year, whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, guys throughout the whole industry, and some of them, you know, I'll tell them, like, I don't really like all the songs, but yeah, you have some badass songs. Like, but for you, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. I don't kiss ass, and he knows that.
And sometimes I like, dude, kiss ass, dude.
I don't think y'all have a bad song. And that's like my true, like I love Cody Johnson. I saw Cody Johnson play in front of 40 people and 10,000 people, right? But I don't like all of his songs. I honestly think a lot of people would agree with that opinion, that y'all don't really have a bad song.
Yeah, and I don't.
I know you can't answer that question. It's kind of a statement, but I think you would agree.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I don't really think we do either. But then again, like, I don't think any artist. I don't go out and try to make a bad song.
Right.
No, I know. Yeah.
Right. No, and that's not what I'm saying.
No,
is like
I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I appreciate it. Like, and I don't really think we do. Like, I don't think there's one that really stands out. Maybe like Hometown or something.
Yeah, I guess
one of the deep cuts.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like a lot of your fans, like I like Co Wetzel, cool guy, badass songs, and I don't really like all of his songs, but I can tell you one thing. I've always jammed Co Wetzel songs, and I've always jammed Treaty Oak songs. But like, I can put your like go on Apple Music and just tap y'all and play every song and listen to it.
Well, I'm glad that's the way it is now for you, because we may come out with one here with the next couple albums.
Maybe.
Who knows? But,
but you got a lot of fucking songs. You got a lot of songs.
No, maybe you're above average on songwriting, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna hold you at a lower standard now.
So far, I'm undefeated right now.
It feels pretty good. You feel like Floyd Mayweather, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It feels cool. So far, so good, man.
You don't want to start feeling like Logan Paul.
Right.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's he loves the Paul boys.
So what?
Giving him shit.
Yeah, dude, I think they're great. I think they're fucking geniuses. That's about it.
Yeah, they're making.
They're
marketing
marketing geniuses.
They're living in Puerto Rico or Costa Rica, or
somewhere over there. Yeah. Chasing migration. Are you traveling all over the country, or an outfitter that uses a trailer day in and day out to pack your gear, your decoys, whatever it is? Chasing Migration makes the best attachments to go-in trailers. They also build some of the best built trailers on the market. You can choose from waiter hangers to gas can holders to bag holders to gun racks. They've got a variety of products that you can put in your trailer to make your job even easier. If you're looking to get a trailer built, check out Chasing Migration. Or if you're wanting to add some accessories to your trailer, check out Chasing Migration on Instagram or check them out on the website. So I'm gonna do. We've never done this before, but Lone Star is one of our sponsors, so we're gonna do a segment presented by Lone Star based off of your Instagram bio.
Hell yeah.
It says you throw beer and sing sad songs for Treaty Oak. Mm-hmm. So when you're going on stage, everybody's kind of got their drink of choice. What's your drink of choice?
This is gonna be funny because I don't think they know, but
you don't drink.
I drink Budweiser Zeros.
Okay,
that's
good. I did not know that.
Yeah,
hey, that's okay.
I
too.
used to drink
Lone
those
Star?
like a fucking fish. Yeah,
Hey, that's good. That's
I used
all
to
right.
go through about like 15 of them a night probably, and then some whiskey on top of that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Shit. So
Yeah, I did not know. Hey,
that's a
ain't
good
nothing
thing.
wrong with that.
I know.
Ain't nothing wrong with
thing.
that.
Yeah, man. I was.
You like to throw them though.
Yeah, I love. Well, where we come from, you know, in West Texas, we used to have a festival called Crude Fest, and y'all know about Larry Joe Taylor Fest,
Yeah,
man,
man.
where Roger Krager and
Yeah, dude.
they used to do
The beer showers.
The beer
Yeah,
showers, man.
actually.
So and that used to be a big part of Crude Fest where we grew up. Was we'd do beer showers at festivals or at the Blue Light. You know, you do beer showers for
Yeah,
an
dude.
artist that you liked. It was just kind of a thing you did to really get rowdy and
Right.
get people going and stuff. Because man, when you do that shit, like people get
People
wild.
get, "Let's go."
I don't know what it is about it, man, but people just
It's
start getting
provocative.
wild.
It
yeah.
drives the people crazy.
Yeah,
you know
it
what
gets
I mean?
people going.
It gets
Yeah.
people going.
So there's a little thing going around on TikTok with Braxton Keys and people throwing beer at him and shit. Do you get
So,
mad when people?
I don't really condone the whole beer throwing thing
Right.
because I just like it where y'all sling it around over your
Yeah.
head and throw it on the ground,
Yeah.
and then it don't hurt nobody, you know.
Not
but,
getting pegged with
You,
it.
how
I
many
mean-
times you been pegged in the face with a beer can?
probably like a good 5 times.
Yeah, and it pisses you off, right?
Yeah, it don't feel
feel
good,
great.
man. But at the same time, like I
Especially
feel,
because now we know he's sober up there
Yeah.
just getting
Well,
hit in
and-
the face with fucking beer.
the other thing is, like, I felt like a lot of that stuff didn't happen until we went on that tour and we
Well,
played that DC show,
yeah,
and that's
dude.
when everybody.
It went-
That was the
Yeah.
first time we ever experienced people throwing shit at us like on stage. Like, yeah, there was like. You catch a stray beer can fly on the stage every now and then back in
Right.
the day at shows, but it wasn't until that DC show when shit kind of went off the rails.
everyone
Everybody's
kinda
like, I'm going
saw
to
it
see how hard I
just-
can hit him.
Yeah, and
they
then
took
it went
and
on the
ran with it.
internet and went viral or
Yeah.
whatever, and now everybody's been doing
Everyone's
it
doing
lately.
it. Yeah.
So
And it's been
it
causing
doesn't even
problems.
matter.
It's because
At some of these venues do not like it.
Well, yeah.
It's
You
been,
just tell him to get over it, tour manager. You say, get in line, dude. It'll be all right.
that's about as much as you can do, and then hope for forgiveness.
Do you want us
at
to
the
come
end.
here or
you're
not?
out back like, oh my God, please stop.
Sometimes yes, sometimes it's like.
Well, the good thing about today
you
is
can't
it's
do much
outside.
about it.
And
Exactly.
Yeah.
I will say your crowd will probably
It's
be pretty
outside
rowdy
and it's
tonight.
East Texas,
It's
so
easy.
I don't
Well,
know.
that-
ready,
you know-
ready to go.
Since you mentioned Co and they invited him to Longview one time, and then they were like, you
Lindale.
can't come
It was
back.
Lindale.
Oh, Lindale. Yeah.
So he had it was kind of like this, like a little festival in Lindale.
Yeah, the American Great Texas Balloon Race.
yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
said
remember
no
that.
cussing. He was like,
He's like,
Yeah.
fuck this place.
what do you kind of got to understand who you're inviting now.
Well,
and
that's-
their fans.
Yeah.
That's
you would
been
think.
us a lot of times,
A lot
man.
of
Like
times.
there's a venue we played in Durant, Oklahoma, a big venue. I guess I won't name them by name.
Yeah, let's not dog
but,
'em.
Yeah, we
They wouldn't let you. I know what you're talking about. They wouldn't let
we
you.
got banned for that
we
show.
got fined and definitely not.
Damn.
They take my
No,
money
they
off.
fine
Is it the
y'all?
place that takes my money?
A hefty fucking
Is
fine.
it the place that takes
because
my
y'all
money?
were
And what I
cussing?
mean by it, well, no,
Beer
the
showers.
beer showers
Oh,
and stuff.
fuck.
But we couldn't really control it, man. Like
Yeah.
that's
We
our
gave
fans.
them the warning. We let them know, and they were thrown away.
It's
They
a lot
they
of
didn't-
places
they
just,
didn't care.
They know we sell tickets and they know we're popular, but
Yeah.
they've never seen our show or done their research. So
Listen, if you're trying to book a Texas music artist, do your damn research. You know what I mean?
that's all I can
And
say.
it's really
A
the
little
Texas scene, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like y'all, I guess, Braxton Keith, I don't know where he's from, but
He's from
San Angelo, right?
I don't know. I knew he grew up in Midland.
well,
and then I can't remember where else he's from.
somewhat of the Texas scene, it's really that scene. But that's kind of the
Yeah, it's just
listen.
something
All
we've
you gotta do
grown
is
up.
listen to a song and be
Or
like,
just look
okay,
at
these guys
Instagram.
party.
There's at least 3 pictures
Dude,
in
look
every
at
post
look at the Instagram.
of you
Yeah.
throwing a
Or
They
a
got-
video.
they got
If you
some
don't
video.
like it, don't invite us here.
I mean,
We're gonna party. We're gonna make you a lot of money.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, we ain't gonna change our show neither. You
no,
know, so
no.
I mean, we can.
even if we try to, that's not guaranteeing that the crowd ain't gonna.
Well,
Yeah,
you
you're
can
never-
walk out there and be
once you
like, "Hey
start it,
guys, we're gonna have a
it's
good time
never gonna
tonight, but
stop.
don't throw beer." They're
Well,
still
and
gonna
a
throw.
lot of those people show up because they want to see the beer
Right.
slinging,
That's part of
man.
the
Like
show.
they're like, man, we heard that's
We
part
heard
of the
y'all get
deal.
rowdy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, a lot of these people are spending their last however many dollars to buy tickets to, and have a $50 to buy beer. They want to have fun.
The first time I was in a beer shower was at Chili Fest.
Yeah.
Have y'all played at Chili? Y'all played this year? Yeah,
Played this year.
yeah. Dude, well, that was when I was back in college, but that was, man, it's always a good time. It is always
That's
a good
what I'm
time.
saying. It's always them rowdy Texas festivals. That's just always been the thing. Is slinging beer around and having a good time and jumping up and down and fucking getting wild, man.
Getting rowdy. You can't beat it, man.
Yeah, you can't beat it. It's a good time, and it make the fans. That's what the fans want.
Right.
That's what they come out for.
Yeah,
hear your music, and have a good time, and get rowdy.
That's what we bring to the table, man, or try to at least.
Yeah,
it's kind of an experience, that outer body experience. Everyone
It's
dude,
right.
everybody's just like,
it's
just getting after it,
loves
dude.
it, man.
My wife hates it. She's like, well, she loved it when we were younger, but now she's
they
like,
go. I can.
like she's gonna fucking melt. Or
They
something.
go to a concert pretty much every weekend though. So
Yeah, we did go to a concert. We are big concert people.
Yeah.
I've probably seen y'all 4 or 5 times since then. We just anytime anybody's even close, we don't have nothing to do. That's what we always do. We just go
I
to
don't
a
have
concert.
kids yet, so
Yeah, so we can
I
do
have
that.
kids, so I don't get to go to too many anymore. But we still have a good time.
Yeah, I have a kid too. So,
Yeah.
I just had a baby boy
Heck
about
yeah,
a year
big
ago.
congratulations.
Yeah.
So, thanks, man.
You excited
Yeah.
about that?
Oh, I love it, man. I'm ready to get home and see his little ass.
Yeah, so y'all got about a week off, so y'all can go home and relax and hang out.
That'll be
awesome.
good. That'll be
Be
good.
nice.
a few weeks. Yeah, a few
I'm gonna
days.
get you on a turkey up there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, dude, we need to link up this year, and whether it anywhere, if you get time off, dude, we literally hunt all over the place. Oklahoma a lot.
I'm in
so-
Southwest. We're in Southwest Oklahoma hunting more than we are.
Yeah.
These days, we used to hunt a lot around here, but the hunting ain't near as good as it used to be.
Yeah.
So we hunt in Southwest Oklahoma more than anywhere else.
Well, yeah, man, hit me up.
And the fishing.
We got a little bit more off time this year than we did last year, so
Yeah, we'll
I'm
make it
down
work.
to-
Not grinding as hard this year because last year I
Yeah.
know it was a grind. Y'all played a crap ton of shows last year. I feel like every time I looked at something, it was Treaty Oak here, Treaty Oak there, Treaty Oak here. And I was like, man.
Yeah, so when
How many shows you played last year?
probably like 120 or
120,
something.
130 probably.
Every 3
What y'all
days.
got on the
somewhere.
schedule this year?
Probably about 80, 83.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's a good number, I feel
started
like.
off with like 75, and then we kind of added a little few here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I've
This will be a good. Have you? You've never played the Red Dirt, have you?
no, we
Played
played
last
last year.
Yeah, they played last year. They were the.
I think we were
Oh,
like
I didn't
third
go
or
last
fourth
year.
on the
I didn't go last year.
Hey, look
yeah.
at now you the headliner. Look at
Yeah.
that, like
I think it
up
was
there at the
Randy
top.
Rogers,
bud.
I think, was the headliner.
Red,
last
yeah,
year.
yeah. I went the year before, but I didn't go last
The year before was the year Parker was the headliner, and it rained the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
But yeah,
This
I
will be
got-
good. I
What's
love
the
it.
first year it's been here? Normally it's downtown.
Downtown.
You
Yeah,
did
that's
that
where
last
we
year.
had
It's
it
a
last
cool. It's a cool vibe downtown too.
Yeah,
It's
was hot as
small.
shit.
It's hot
I
as
wonder
shit.
if they moved it up here because of the amount of people we got there. In the
100%.
Oh,
That
it was
and
crowded
the
as
shit.
dude,
It was
downtown's got a lot of. They're tearing down the courthouse. They're doing all kinds of shit.
Well, this
It's-
place is pretty cool too. I guess like
It's a
literally,
great spot.
I think they just cleared this. Like, I mean, we're still looking. I think this is about a week or 2 ago. It looks like they got this cleaned up.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty cool. And then y'all been playing some barbecue festival. I went to saw y'all at a barbecue festival in Fort Worth. Like,
Syndicate Smoke
like a
Down?
month ago, yeah.
That was badass, man. We had some badass
in
food over there.
Stockyards, dude. Yeah, hell
Yeah, that's all.
See, I told you I go to concerts.
Yeah. What do you think about Billy Bob's? You like Billy Bob's?
Oh yeah,
That's
I
a
love
cool
Billy
place,
Bob's,
ain't
man.
it?
Yeah, we need to go back there and sell that
What's-
bitch out. We still haven't sold it out yet.
What's your
Well, if you go-
favorite
if y'all-
place you've
if
ever
you just
played?
get it on the thing, y'all sell it out.
Say
Favorite place you've ever played?
Cane's Ballroom in Tulsa.
In Tulsa?
Hell
It's
yeah.
a hard one to
Badass.
beat, man.
Yeah.
Cook's Garage was badass. Billy Bob's was cool, man.
Worst place?
Those are just places.
Worst
that are,
place?
Yeah.
you can't say.
Yeah, you can, dude. We gotta have some tea. We got
Shit, man, I don't know.
somebody's backyard.
Yeah. One
Don't
time,
hurt no
one
feelings.
time we played this place in Weatherford, and it was for like a benefit for this place. They were like a horse sanctuary. Like they'd take old racehorses and shit in that were fucked up and rehabilitated them and everything, gave them a place to stay so they didn't get put down or whatever. So they had this little shit show of a show they had planned for us. They put us in like a sand pit arena, which I don't know if you've tried to set up a drum kit on fucking sand.
Yeah,
it doesn't
it's
work.
uneven.
So we had to go to Home Depot and buy a bunch of fucking big sheets of plywood and put them all down. And then as soon as we got all our instruments set up, this was way back in the original day.
Yeah.
This guy comes around with a fucking discer and discs that entire sand pit and gets fucking beach sand all over our
Holy
shit and then our
shit, man.
amps and fucking
And I don't know if
speakers
y'all know
and
this, but sand doesn't do too well with electronics.
no,
Yeah,
it's fucking
not at
terrible.
all.
So
Not at all.
thankfully we didn't lose lose anything that night, but man, it was so shitty. We didn't start till like 7 o'clock, and then when the sun went down, they had to like come park their trucks and shine the headlights on us, and they had like a light tower with a loud ass generator. We were playing that, and then at one point, during the set, they said, "Hey, can y'all stop playing for like 30 minutes? My daughter is gonna do her equestrian shit that she's got going on."
Oh, God.
And so we were like, okay. So they bring out this Shetland pony, and there's this like 8-year-old girl gets on the back of the Shetland pony and starts doing circles around this little fucking sand
Y'all
pit
just
arena.
stand in the middle.
And we're sitting there with our instruments just watching this shit the whole time, and they told us like, please do not play your instrument while she's on the pony. And our bass player looked at me and he's like, man, why the fuck can't we just at least fiddle around with our instruments, man? And I was like, because it's a fucking horse, dude. Like the horse is gonna get scared, and then that girl, you know,
get thrown
off.
off.
The bass player was like, what do you mean, like this? And he goes,
No way.
Hits that chord. That miniature pony rears up, dude.
Those are off.
Kicks that little girl off his back and fucking takes off through that field.
God, they're mad
and
as
you
shit.
see all the parents and like the dads jump up out of their lawn chairs and they run after. They're taking off in the field after that horse, and that lady's just, the little girl's crying. That lady's just looking at my bass player, just shaking her fucking head like, I told you.
I told you, stupid.
And I looked at him and I was laughing, but I was like, dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, because if she'd have ran back on her back.
Yeah, man.
Was this Andrew?
Yeah.
Did it pay good?
He likes to push that.
Yeah,
He's like button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like that still to this day.
Yeah,
You tell him
but
not to. He's
jam
like, you
that
sure
shit
about
down.
that?
He was that kid you didn't say not to do something because he'd do
Don't
it.
touch it. He's gonna touch it.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
you tell
awesome.
the guy the opposite of what you want him to do.
Yeah,
Hey, dude,
dude.
play like shit tonight, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna play the best show
Best play I ever played.
Hell yeah.
That was a pretty shitty one though, man. That way I don't have to throw any venues under the bus.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's a good shitty one.
Yeah, somebody.
There was one in Waco that I would love to come back and play sometime, but the last time we played there, they kicked out like half of our fans for throwing beer, and we're like, dude, that's the show. That's like half the show.
Y'all should
man.
just when they say you want to come play, just be like, are you okay with us throwing beer?
Yeah.
And they say no, but well,
Well, now it's like I'm pretty sure we maybe tried to include it in the contract.
You've included it.
Yeah, what is that talk? What's that talk?
much
And after the show, like, well, your fans threw a bunch of beer. We're gonna have
Most
to
of the
find
time they
you.
don't say shit because like they look at
You
their
have to deal with
alcohol
all that?
I'm
sales.
about to say the alcohol sales are better with the throwing
we
beer.
break so
Yeah,
many
you-
alcohol sales records.
You throw
it's
the
not
beer,
even
what are
funny.
you gonna do?
Go get another.
Go get another
fucking
beer.
5 beers,
We've partnered with Mallard Bay to make booking your next trip even easier. Go to mallardbay.com. Once it's up, you'll see a different variety of things you can choose from, recently booked trips, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see the different states that you can tap into. The easiest way is to click the Start Your Adventure tab, type in a location or species, for instance, Oklahoma duck hunt. Click it. It'll show up all the outfitters. We're going to click Prairie Creek. Scroll down, you'll see the different packages that you can book. Select your dates. Continue. See the total. Create an account. Pay for your hunt, and you're ready to go. If you're looking to book a new trip or a trip for friends and family, go to mallardbay.com and get on your next adventure.
So,
I don't understand
If
that.
you think about it that
and
way,
they're $12 a piece or something. So.
Like, what are you bitching about? You got to clean up a little bit?
And that's the other thing. Like everybody's like, I don't understand why you'd waste good beer, Da 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 da. I'm like, well, if you
Bitch,
want to
you
fucking
didn't
waste
fucking
it,
buy
you
it.
waste it.
yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't fucking buy it.
yeah, I'm fucking paying for it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, whatever, dude.
That's great, dude.
You
That's
don't
great.
like it? Sneak in your own beer, brother.
That's great.
Wear
Well,
some
man,
boots.
we're gonna let y'all get out of here and go rest or do whatever y'all got to do. We did wake them up from their
No, I
nap.
know. And this is
Oh,
one
man.
that I appreciate. I've he told me that immediately yesterday. I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I'm so in, man. I've looked forward to this since he told me, obviously, but I've been wanting to get you on for a long time. My brother, he started learning how to play the guitar and started learning how to sing and all this other stuff because he loved y'all's music so
He's
much.
starting to get little gigs around Tyler.
Yeah,
so.
he's starting to do little moves around.
Yeah.
And
Man.
y'all were literally his inspiration. Like he was like, man, like he just started playing. Like the first songs he started playing for other people, whereas Boomtown and No Vacancy and that stuff. And so I know that there's probably a lot of kids out there like that. They're like, man,
Yeah.
this is, this really set me up to.
And a lot of kids are at them shows too. You know what I mean?
Well, man, that's why I say, like, we came from just some good old boys from fucking West Texas, man.
Yeah.
That's all we were really doing, and we was just friends hanging out and jamming, man. And it turned into this, and we've always just kept our minds like, we're gonna do this shit and we're gonna make it. And we've had that mindset this entire time, and this is where we're at now. So I mean, if you believe in what you're doing and you believe in your music and you believe in yourself,
your fans got your back.
Sky's the fucking limit, man.
Yeah,
especially
dude.
if you got friends. But
yeah.
Hey, I had one question for y'all before we left, just because I see y'all both got it on. What's the hate for Sitka gear?
Oh, we don't hate Sitka gear. We just signed up.
No, but I hear, like, I follow hunting pages and shit like that. And I see it all the time. They're like,
Listen,
he's got his Sitka
hold on.
gear.
Hold on. Time out before you know how you couldn't talk bad about the venues?
Yeah.
We can't talk bad about Sitka. We just signed
I know you can't.
We were the first podcast to ever sign a deal with them last week, 2 weeks ago. So,
okay. Well,
but
like
what I
Sitka
can
gear.
say,
I think it's
what
great.
I can say, I think I got to tread lightly here, but I think the reason people talk so much shit about Sitka is because, one, they're huge, and two, it's a corporation, right? Like you can't really call somebody at Sitka. You can call somebody at the other brands, right? And it's expensive. It's like buying Louis Vuitton.
I think
everybody don't have Louis Vuitton because everybody can't afford.
Yeah, but
Louis
you're
Vuitton.
Paying for the quality.
Right.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I don't think people talk trash about Sitka because of the quality of the stuff or the product itself. People that really hunt a lot probably talk trash about Sitka because there's a lot of people that wear Sitka because it's the cool brand, not because they actually hunt and stuff. And
it's
some
the people that some of the people that are wearing it.
It's more so the people that wear it. It's great marketing by Sitka. You can't blame them for that. But I think
what you're telling me is people just hating on them because they're doing good.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. That's what it is.
Hey, man,
I guess
we know all about that.
I know.
Shit.
I know.
We just broke the ice. Let me touch on it just for like 1 minute. We this is like the kickoff for our summer. We do a ton of podcasts during the season. Then we do like guys outside of the industry, musicians, baseball players, boxers, NASCAR, like
in the summer.
In the summer, but they also have a passion for hunting, right? Like you love to hunt, y'all love to hunt. So this is kind of the kickoff for our summer stuff. But we since you asked, I had to tell you. But like we did just sign a deal with Sitka for the next season, so we haven't really said nothing about that on social media very much. But yeah, it's
cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I love their stuff.
First
man.
podcast. Listen, we're very humble people, but we are the first podcast to sign a deal with Sitka.
Yeah.
So.
And the first outdoor podcast to have Treaty Oak on the
first outdoor podcast to have Treaty Oak on.
Yeah, brother.
If you, in the fucking parking lot, they're about to go.
In the parking lot, in the ponds.
In East Texas, dude, we're in East Texas doing a podcast with some boys from West Texas
and Dallas
and Grapevine. Yeah, I'll be up.
Well,
I'm going
to
to
claim Dallas or Fort Worth. Which
Fort Worth.
You say Fort Worth. That's what most people do.
They don't know Grapevine. I say Fort Worth.
Fort Worth, baby.
Yeah.
I'll be up there next week. I'm going to the Kid Rock Rodeo. My brother ropes, so we're gonna go up there. But man, thank y'all again. It really means a lot that y'all fucking woke up from your nap. I know we talked about it, but to come do this in the parking lot
he tried just walking
with all your fans looking, but we appreciate y'all. We're definitely gonna have to link up during season. Yeah. Whether it's with us
you got my
on the
number, just hit
road
me up,
or
man.
we can meet up at Toby's and fucking do some big shindig. You know what I mean? Let's
like
do
a
it.
plan.
If you're not following Treaty Oak on all platforms, do it.
I doubt you aren't.
Doubt or not, if you're listening to this podcast. And then two, they're playing everywhere. So if they're playing near you, go see their show. It's worth it.
Bring something you don't mind getting beer on it.
There's some good dudes. I mean, they came and sat in the parking lot and talking to a microphone with some boys from East Texas. So,
hey man,
we appreciate y'all
problem,
again. And y'all, if you haven't subscribed, Sam, tell these guys to subscribe, bro.
Yeah, hey.
They don't listen to me.
Quack Shack Podcast. Like and subscribe this fucking video right now.
Hell yeah. Well, appreciate y'all. Follow us on Instagram at the Quack Shack, and we got a lot of shit in store,
Hell yeah, man.
We might, you never know what we're going to do, but we're out. Thank y'all.
Good shit. Later, man.
Hell yeah.